Need is very great in our region with food insecurity such a big problem. Today we got the latest update from Feeding America. It's the country's largest domestic hunger relief organization. It works with some 200 different food banks all over the country, including here. And for 2020 in Erie County, the overall food insecurity rate was 12%. Nationwide, it's actually a little bit higher than that, but it translates into more than 110,000 people in Erie County alone, all of whom are food insecure. And among Black and Hispanic residents here locally, the food insecurity rate is 23%, almost double. So with all of that in mind, tomorrow is the grand opening of a new food pantry inside the Resource Council of Western New York. It's on East Ferry in Buffalo. And 2 on Your Side's Claudine Ewing checked it out today to get a better understanding of the needs of that area.
Food of all kinds, non-perishables, delivered and stocked on shelves inside the Community Action Organization's new food pantry inside the Resource Council of Western New York.
Food is very expensive right now because of inflation caused by the pandemic. So even though Tops is back open, many people unfortunately may not be comfortable going in there yet, and many people still cannot afford to feed their actual households throughout the course of the month.
We see items like the oatmeal, the Gatorade, the potatoes, and the cereal. Who can come here and get this, and when is it going to be available?
Our pantry will be open here throughout August 19th. We're going to have summer hours Tuesdays and Thursdays from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. and then Fridays from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m.
Specifically, people living in the 14208 and 14209 zip codes.
The tragedy on May 14th actually heightened everyone else's awareness. The goals that we have been working towards for months or even years were actually just kind of put on a, like a national forefront, that people here suffer from food insecurity. We don't have enough access to real food, which is actual food from the 4 food groups.
Instead of using corner stores to buy processed foods, this pantry wants to serve the real need.
Fruits and vegetables and grains and meat and dairy.
The items will come from local farms, other food acquired through Feed More Western New York. We're in the 14208 zip code, Cold Springs, whatever you want to call it, East Buffalo, the east side of Buffalo. This is you.
This is me. The majority of my family lives within maybe 10 blocks of here. So this is very personal to me, which is why we had been really working on this for months and months, because we knew personally the need in this community.
Listen to this.
People cannot access enough food. So we have lots of clients who even receive SNAP benefits, and they may receive $107 a month to last them throughout the entire month.
Yeah, and you hear that dollar figure and it's pretty shocking. You wonder how anybody can survive on that. So who is eligible for this, and what do you think it's going to look like inside that place tomorrow? Very different than today.
Obviously, a lot of people are going to be showing up. And as we mentioned, you have to live in the 14208 zip code, a gross annual income that is at or below the 185% of the federal poverty level. Of course, show up with your ID. Have proof of residency. Baby items and also hygiene products will also be available. And Brandy says that's a draw because you have to bring food to people. And once they give them that food when they are there, they also find out that there are other resources available for individuals. So the food, obviously, a draw. But there are other obvious concerns that people have. And when you look at some of the things that are being stocked on the shelves, we may look at it and say, oh, well, you can just pick that up. But for some people, they can't. And you and I both know when you go grocery shopping right now, food is high.
Yeah.
Food is high, and $107 a month really just doesn't cut it for many families.
I think the last inflation report, which was just recent, I think food costs had gone up compared to the same month last year, almost 11%, between 10 to 11%.
Yeah.
And it's just too much for a lot of people. Claudine, very important story. Thank you very much.